Hello, Charlie here, and today I'm going to teach you, or help review, about the two tenses of past tense, which are preterite and imperfect. To start off, I'd like to show you two examples and just kind of review on the conjugations. First is for preterite, and yo ir a la supermercado el semana pasada. Take a moment to answer. Yo fui a la supermercado el semana pasada. The second example is for imperfect tense. Yo estar comiendo cuando tú llamaste. Yo, take a moment to answer. Estaba comiendo cuando tú llamaste. So, in English, this one means I went to the supermarket last week. And the imperfect means I was eating when you called. Now notice how llamaste is in preterite tense, which we'll cover later as one of the uses of preterite and when it's appropriate to use it. Of the instances to use both preterite and imperfect, we're going to go over the preterite instances first. So my first instance is whenever you're narrating a series of past actions. So my example here is yo llegué a mi casa, miré televisión y hice la tarea. So here I'm saying I got home, I watched television, and I did my homework. These are all past things and they've already happened. And that's pretty much why you're using preterite. The next instance is to express the beginning or the end of a state or action. So here's my example. En 2012 comencé a usar productos de Apple. Here it's just saying that in 2012 I began to use Apple products. I'm still using Apple products, but it's something that's already happened. Like the beginning has already happened. And that's why you use preterite for that. And the final instance you use preterite is to express completed actions or states. This is, of course, the most common and can be related to all the other uses. So my example for this is yo compré la cámara y un SD tarjeta el año pasado. So here it's saying that I bought a camera and an SD card last year. And I've already bought this. I'm not buying it. I'm not going to do it in the future. It's already happened. Now we're going to cover the instances you would use the imperfect tense. So the first instance would be to describe ongoing past actions without reference to their beginning or end. So my example for this is yo corría en el parque. So I was running in the park. It doesn't really say the beginning or the end, it just says I was running. So you're going to use imperfect because it's a continuing action. The second instance is to express habitual past actions. So my example here is me cepillaba los dientes todos los días. So it's just saying I brush my teeth every day, and I hope you do too. But anyway, here it's something you do every day. You're gonna brush your teeth every day. It's a habitual action, and I already did it this morning, so it's past. Again, like preterit, it needs to be passed from the speaker's point of view. And the final instance you would use imperfect tense for is to describe mental, physical, or emotional states or conditions. So my example here is: estaba tan sediento que bebí 4 litros de agua. So here it's just saying, I was so thirsty that I drank 4 liters of water. And it's a mental state. Being hungry, being thirsty, it's all kind of in your head. And the final instance you would use imperfect tense for is very difficult. It's got a really long definition. It's to tell time. And my example for this is: eran las 4 de la noche cuando el asesinato ocurrió. So here it's saying that it was 4 p.m. when the murder took place. And so this is just telling the time. And also notice ocurrió. One instance that wasn't really mentioned earlier for preterit is whenever it interrupts a sentence. Like you're narrating a story, and here's the story. I was watching TV when you called. When you called is an interruption, and so you would use preterit tense there instead of imperfect. To help remember instances to use preterit and imperfect tenses, I created 2 acronyms: TED for the imperfect tense, and NI for preterit tense. Now TED stands for to tell time, express habitual actions, describe ongoing past actions, and to describe mental, physical, and emotional conditions. Where NI for preterit stands for narrate a series of past actions, express the beginning or the end of an action, and to express actions or states that are completed. This is an important message. When you're narrating a story, the imperfect tense supplies background information, and it's showing what's going on at that time, what's happening then. While the preterit shows important sequences and important things in the plot, and it appears at interruption points, like previously said. There are also some helpful words to figure out whether you're supposed to put in preterit tense or imperfect tense. So words that would trigger things in the preterit tense would be ayer, which is yesterday, ante ayer, which is the day before yesterday, anoche, which is last night, desde el primer momento, which is from the first moment. We don't use this very often, but it's an expression that can be used. Durante 2 siglos, for 2 centuries. El otro día, the other day. En ese momento, in this moment. Entonces, then. Then, entonces, and in ese momento are similar, except they can just be used in different fashions, just like in English. esta mañana, this morning. La semana pasada, last week. El mes pasado, last month. El año pasado, last year. Hace 2 días, 2 days. And hace 2 años, for 2 years. Ayer por la tarde, so yesterday afternoon. These are all specific time frames to show when something occurred. And so you'd use preterit for these. And then there's trigger words for the imperfect tense, like a menudo, often, habitual actions. See where it's going? A veces, sometimes. Like this person, it's sort of habitual, but it's only some of the time. Cada día, every day. Again, it's habitual. Cada semana, every week. Cada mes, every month. Cada año, every year. Con frecuencia, frequently. This is also habitual, just like every single one I've said. De vez en cuando, from time to time. It can still be habitual. It's like visiting your grandparents. It's something you do annually, so it's like from year to year, for instance. En aquella época, at that time. Frecuentemente, frequently, it's just another word. Generalmente, generally. And so again, like it's habitual. Muchas veces, many times. Mucho, a lot. This word only works sometimes because it can be used a lot in preterit. Nunca, never. It can be used. It's a lot like mucho. Por un rato, for a while, because it doesn't show beginning or end. Tantas veces, so many times. Todos las semanas, todos los días, todo el tiempo. Every week, every day, and all the time. Varias veces, several times. So these are just words that can help you in understanding which tense to use when conjugating for preterit or imperfect.